Welcome to Baba's Talk Show, recorded live in Gold Coast, Australia. Assalamu'alaikum, warahmatullahi, wabarakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of Baba's Talk Show. I'm Hussein Baba. Well, as usual, today I have a very interesting topic. And on my program and talk show, I have my co-host with me today, of course, Chef Afshin. How are you? Welcome back. Okay. All right, good. Alhamdulillah. And Afshin, today's a very interesting topic.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, okay. It's about women.
Again?
Again, yeah. All right. Well, it's interesting. It's about, the topic is women empowerment. Oh, you leave? No. Take it easy. Don't worry. We have three lovely ladies. And yes, they're coming. They'll be coming very shortly. They'll be joining us very shortly. Don't worry. They all are married. Okay, don't worry. Don't think about anything. And alhamdulillah, they are very high profile in their capacity as whatever they do. All right. So they'll be joining me shortly. And we'll be back after the short message from our sponsors. See you then. Assalamu'alaikum. Welcome back. Now, as I mentioned to you, we have a very interesting topic which I mentioned earlier, and three lovely ladies have joined me in this panel. Let me introduce them. First, on my left is Louise Moeller. She is the president of the German Association in Queensland. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and one more, she's also director of ECCQ. What ECC stands for?
Ethnic Communities Council of
Queensland. That's right. I've been very familiar with this organization for the last 10 years. They do a marvelous job. And okay, all right. On my right, I have Rita Anwari. Well, she's also a very high profile person, just like Louise. And why don't you give us your background?
First of all, thank you, Asan, for inviting me for this wonderful show. I'm feeling like very proud to be part of the show.
Thank you very much.
A lot. I've been watching it for quite a while, and it's very inspiring show.
Yeah.
I'm Rita Anwari, founder of the Women Empowerment and Leadership starting it from Australia and Queensland. Basically, we're running around globally to empower women and children in our society through to help of our brother men. And also I'm working with Access as an international account executive, and also I've been appointed as a Afghanistan Ministry of Women as an international advisor, and that's me.
Well, that's a very impressive introduction. I thought you will take it pretty impressive and in-depth. Wonderful. And also, recently you got an award. Tell us about your award. What was that award about?
They actually mentioned we will appoint you as Ambassador of the Peace as a Women Federation of Queensland, Australia. I was thinking it is something very big, and I couldn't even fit myself in my clothes and my skin. I was like, wow, very feeling honored.
Okay.
And so basically my voice will be open for United Nations as a Ambassador of the Peace to stand up and support as women and children for the peace and have a peace in our nation and our society.
Good. Congratulations once
Thank
again.
you.
And next to Rita is Christina Terita.
My name is Christina Terita. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be here in your program.
Right.
It's a great honor.
Yes.
I'm one of the senior members for Empowerment of Women in Leadership.
So you work
Rita.
together with Rita?
I work together with Rita.
All right, that's good.
And I'm currently a student at Bond University doing international relations major in diplomacy. And I had an extensive experience working with mainstream communities under the Department of Immigration as a settlement service worker, and I'm just returning back into community service, into empowerment of the woman. I also work with aside with Silva Randall with a vision on women as well. Portuguese speaking woman in Australia. So
Okay, that's
it's,
very
a
good,
pleasure.
very impressive as well. Look, now you know who are the panelists. Earlier on, Chef Afshin was worried. Now, are you better now? Are you okay?
Yeah, definitely.
You relaxed?
Definitely.
Okay.
Feeling much better.
Much better, right? So they're all easy going, right?
Yes, it's
Okay,
easy.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, one and all. It's very, very impressive. I'm very impressive with their background and experience. All right. Now, let's get on to our topic of today, women empowerment. Now, first of all, I personally also would like to know what is women empowerment. So I'm going to ask Rita, can you explain to us exactly what is women empowerment?
Okay, there's two questions. What's woman empowerment, or what's woman empowerment do for society?
Right.
How do you want me to go?
You can say both.
Okay.
Both.
Women empowerment is not a simple word. I can just explain it to one word or two words, like
Okay.
woman empowerment, because there's it's like a tree with lots of branches. But woman empowerment, what makes it different for society to empower women and children through to society to understand women need help.
Right.
And that we're trying to educate our brother to work through with us.
Okay.
We'll work together and make the society better and educate our children for next generation to respect their mother and their sister and respect their wife.
Right.
That's how we work. Women
Right.
empowerment to empower the society and empower our generation.
I just want to disturb you. So, empowerment doesn't mean holding the husband by the neck and ask him to do things. Not like that, isn't it?
We're trying to educate our society, respect our brother,
Okay. All right.
respect your family,
Right.
respect your children.
Okay.
Because your children's next generation.
That's right.
It's nothing about holding anything. Empower, that's mean we empower their mind,
Right.
and through their mind,
Yes.
we're giving the message to society.
Okay, good. That's a good explanation. Maybe the word empowerment sounds a bit strong, but after you explain, it sounds milder now. Are you okay? Are you still worried?
Definitely. Okay.
Now you okay? Oh my goodness. Thank God for that. As you know, he was panicking in the beginning. All right. What's the second part you mentioned? Is that all explained?
It's been covered,
Good,
that's
good.
fine.
And I see you nodding your head, Louise. Now, I know you're very experienced. You're from German background. You came from Germany, is it?
I've got German heritage, but I was born in Australia.
All right.
My German heritage was from the 1800s when they came out to Australia. I'm actually, as you can hear, I speak English like an Australian. I look like an Australian.
Right.
I actually went after I studied to Europe for 6 months and stayed 20 years. Most of that in Germany.
In Germany, okay.
I have all my work experience
All right.
in Germany. I've got a German husband
Right,
and
good.
German Australian children.
Right. The reason why I asked you that question is I want you to see whether you've been exposed to, apart from Australia, outside world. That's good. Now, Louise, the thing is regarding women empowerment, right? Now, countries like Australia, Germany, women have freedom. They have democracy there. They have women have freedoms and they have their rights. So, how does this women's empowerment? Do we still need them? I mean, you already have your freedom. Do you still need this empowerment with you?
I think the word freedom is it's quite interesting. I mean, if you look at the laws within Australia, within businesses and a lot of things, women have the same rights as men. You are not allowed to discriminate. However, when you look under the surface,
Right.
I think you find it's not quite that way.
Right.
In fact, there are two areas
Right.
where I think you really need to work on in Australia.
Right.
I think in a lot of the Western countries as well, though I feel Australia in particularly after living overseas in
Yes.
Europe for 20 years and coming back,
Right.
I was quite shocked at some things. Respect, that is one of the key things.
Okay.
Not just respect for each other, but that men also learn to respect women. Now, it may say both genders are equal, you've got to get the same amount of pay and all these things.
Right.
Just two examples
Yeah.
from recently in newspapers.
Okay.
Sports people
Yes.
and people in business, or I'm talking about rugby.
Right.
You look at what happens there with a lot of these rugby players,
Right.
how they're treating women.
Uh-huh.
They're not showing respect for women,
Okay.
and they're not being good role models.
All right.
That's one. Secondly, if you look in business, just what's happened recently,
Right.
some of the heads of the biggest trade unions, construction
Yeah.
industry,
Right.
what they're perceived or have done, I don't want to, towards women, and how they've treated them does not show respect. And this is what they're showing to all their members.
I
So
see.
although women are equal,
Right.
according to law,
Right.
the respect is not there as it should be. And you're seeing key people who are just showing that, and the rest of the media say, oh, that's not good and we might do something. And sometimes it's just a slap on the hand, and that's not okay.
That's not okay. Okay.
Secondly is opportunity. Now, theoretically, women have the same opportunity. Theoretically, they can go to university and they come out and they have the same opportunities for jobs, they receive the same wages, and when a woman starts, for instance, in a business, in a career, they can reach the same levels of a man. That's all nice on paper, but the reality is very different. And if you don't mind,
Yes.
I don't want to quote wrong statistics, but I
Okay.
just want to quote a couple of facts.
All right. Go ahead.
I just read yesterday, for
Okay.
instance,
Yes.
that female graduates, when they finish, they get 4.8% less than male graduates. That may not seem much, but even 1% less is not gender equality and is not justified. So that's just one thing. But if you look at companies and important women in important positions in companies,
Right.
you see the balance really shifting. Now, if you look at companies in general, the chair or chairperson of the boards of companies, 14% are women.
14% of women on the board.
Are chair people, a
chair people.
chairperson.
They're like a chairperson. All
Yes.
right. Okay.
So only 1 in 8 boards
Uh-huh.
has a woman as a chairperson, right? If you look at CEOs of companies, 17% of companies have a woman CEO.
Okay.
So that is 1 in 6 companies. And these are all companies from small to large. There are actually 35% of boards for companies and governing bodies who do not have female representation. So half the staff may be female, yet all of these companies, there's no woman on the board, there's no woman's voice. If you look at the top companies, the ASX 200, the top 200 companies in Australia, it's even more so. So out of 200 companies,
Okay.
there are 14 women CEOs. So 7% only of these top companies have women at the helm of it.
So, Louise, I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
It's not, they're not qualified for the job. They are qualified for the job, right? It's only they've not been promoted to that position.
Well, of course, it depends the type of industry and the type of job and the type of business. And they have to work themselves up. But when you read about, oh, there is gender equality, and yes, about the women who are in these positions, then a lot of people lead to the feeling, well, there's so many out there, so many women at the top of these levels anyway, so it's all fine. We can tick the boxes.
Okay.
But the reality is, the figures show this is not the case.
Okay.
So we've still got a long way to go.
Good. That was interesting. I've seen.
Yes.
You're nodding your head. What's it all about? Come on, explain to him. What is that?
Because as Louise was talking and explaining all these statistics and what's happening in the situation and how women are getting treated in the society, and especially in the business and market and the industries, I was thinking about our communities, the minority groups.
Aha.
I'm a community leader, so I get a lot of these reported to me. A lot of people come to me and say they have these issues, and I've seen it. I've talked to different people in
Right.
from immigration minister,
Yeah.
go down to
Right.
grassroots level
That's
in the
true.
local area.
That's true.
But we all talk about the same
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
Exactly the same issues that you were saying about women, how they're not getting promoted, they don't get selected or elected, or
So-
they're being discriminated. the minority group feeling exactly the same thing. They facing exactly the same problem. There is this systematic discrimination in place, especially in business, in industries, and for jobs. That women feel it, minority groups also feel it as well.
True, I have to agree with him. Remember, Louise, 2 days ago we attended an event at MDA.
Yes.
And we had our shadow treasurer.
Yes. Jim Chalmers.
Jim Chalmers,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And he cited an example to us. There was a study done. Listen to this, very interesting. There was a job available, and this person wanted to test. And same qualification, but 2 different names. One was a Muslim sounding name, and another was an Anglo-Saxon name. Submitted at the same time, and listen to this. The guy with the Anglo-Saxon name got the interview. I mean, that's what it is. So, similarly, I can understand your sentiment where you come from. Yes, it's not only a women issue. I'm talking about this country, it's not only a women issue. It's also a problem with minority.
Called people, culturally and linguistically diverse people.
Okay, that is called CALD, called people, right? Yes. So lots of been happening, I mean, recent years, but still not enough, right? Okay, now I know Christina has been waiting patiently. You've been listening to Rita, to Louise, and also our chef here. Now, after you have listened to them, are there any changes happening? Is there any room for improvement? Because you've been in different places, like within Australia, which work with different organizations. What do you see for yourself?